Starting us off is Hidden Planet X on Tivit, Seller of Secrets. Clues, treasures, and time thief go hand in hand, with the ever-powerful thrasios as backup. Next up, we have the Lord of Legacy, Phil Gallagher, better known as Thrabenu on Kinnan. And what can I say that people don't already know? Kinnan makes way too much mana, lets you sit back on Kinnan activations for big dumb boys, and you have the ever-looming threat of just combo killing the table with a few very searchable artifacts. In the third spot, we have Steven, or as he's better known on Twitter, Rogue Judge, who's piloting Malcolm Vialsmasher. This Grixis pirate list is chock full of combos. Glinthorn, Curiosity Lines, Mayhem Devil, Underworld Breach, thrasios. This is one mean deck. And even without it, Malcolm can put in some serious work, with treasures and some cool pirate synergies. And bringing up the rear is Mike, better known as Sad Robot Alters, from PlayingWithPower. And he's also on Kinnan. Yeah, the deck is just that good.
Alright, block there, kill that. Oh, that is trample. Guess I'm just dead on board.
If you elect me, I'll make sure thrasios is banned. I will sign a law that you must attack the Adnaz player. I will personally muzzle every single person that says my deals are not good deals. They are incredible deals, and you should be happy with them.
But in all honesty, do you think CEDH is getting too political? That there's too much table talk going on with people trying to make deals left and right rather than what you think is the objective play? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below.
Hidden mulls to 6, with Phil mulliganing to 5. Hidden starts off the game with the Sea of Clouds.
I will play Sea of Clouds. You are free to concede at will, and I will pass the turn.
I'm about to go to game 2. Maybe I'll be in the second seat. You know?
Maybe you can be on the board.
Phil has a Misty Rainforest, cracking the fetch for a Trop, but shortcuts as he casts a turn 1 Mystic Remora. Steve also cracks a Misty on his turn, grabbing an Underground Sea and shortcutting as he casts a Soul Ring, feeding a card to Phil.
I can probably give Phil like a couple cards, right? I could probably hook you up with a couple cards.
My hand sucks, so you're not in a lot of danger this time.
Well, as people have said in their intros of CDH tournaments, your opponents do not have your best interest in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, Kinnan doesn't lead on fish if Kinnan cannot lead on fish. So like, it's pretty clear that I don't have any mana acceleration.
Yes, but drawing you all into all that mana acceleration is probably not the best bet either.
Well, Mike wants cards himself, as he taps his own Trop for his own Mystic Remora. Phil draws, and Mike follows it up with a Mana Crypt, with Phil trying again.
I feel like there's secret Kinnan packs going on.
I feel like there is
Can't
too.
Signet.
Oh my god. Nice mulligan,
Mox
bro.
I drew the Mox Opal, alright?
Yeah.
Alright, cast Kinnan.
I have no response to Kinnan.
But all those cards did come to bite him as Phil fires off a Force of Will, exiling a Seagate Restoration. Mike draws off the fish and passes there. Hidden really doesn't want to feed both Kinnans, and simply plays an Exotic Orchard and passes.
Yeah,
I want to make you fight each other.
Message received.
Phil decides to let his fish go and plays a Manamo as land, tapping both lands for a green sun, X equals 1. Mike draws and Phil grabs out a Birds of Paradise. Steve shocks in a Blood Crypt and taps out to cast Talion, with him naming 2 on ETB. Mike is safe from his crypt and pays for his fish. An island comes out as land for turn, and spending 4 recast Kinnan. This does trigger Talion to lose him 2 life and draw Steve a card, but the commander resolves. Hidden also plays out a Manamo and then pays 2 life into a Phyrexian Metamorph, which also enters as a copy of Talion, naming 2 as well. Phil starts off his turn casting his Kinnan, We have 2 Talion triggers to lose him 4, with Hidden and Steve both drawing. Steve has a Cavern of Souls' land naming Pirates. He then taps it and his ring to cast his Commander Malcolm. He loses 2 off Hidden's Talion and follows it up with a Mox Diamond. Mike draws and Steve discards the Steam Vents. Mike takes 3 from his crypt and keeps his fish around. He plays out a Yavimaya Coast and hands the turn over after that. Hidden plays an Underground Sea as land for turn, and for 4 casts a Smothering Tithe, with Mike drawing off the fish, but the enchantment resolving. Phil draws for turn and gives Hidden a treasure off the Tithe.
Let me preface this by saying that this is not as good as it
basalt on the
looks.
stack. It's putting basalt on the stack.
I'm going to put a basalt on the stack.
Are you paying for fish?
Nope.
No.
I can't.
Are you paying the 2?
No.
Alright, I will get 2.
Yeah, as many treasures as you want.
Can I borrow a D6?
God, and I've got first stab on the basalt monolith.
Yep.
This is gross.
I cannot stop the basalt monolith. I'm telling you that right now.
This is not going to be good. I am not winning this game.
I don't know that I
I don't know, we had this whole line controversy.
Oh, no.
Never give the Kinnan deck a basalt monolith. You never. I have learned this lesson. I cannot counter it.
I'm going to respond with intuition targeting you.
Okay.
Fish.
I'm not paying for fish.
That doesn't stop it.
And then do you want to pay the 2?
No.
Alright. I do not have a response to intuition.
Yep.
Well, I pretty much know what you're going to give me.
If it's a force of negation, I will give you that.
Oh, I'm fully aware. I guess it really comes down to, am I trying to win or am I trying to not die?
You could be ultimate spike mode and just say, like, if you don't give me 3 counter spells,
This
I'll
is
let
what
you
I'm doing.
resolve. Or something like that.
That is my follow-up.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right.
Alright, so you're looking like you're trying to win instead.
That's exactly what that just told me.
Yeah, you probably should let the intuition resolve first.
Oh, I'm also trying to win the game.
Yeah.
Like, I can't, but I'd like to try to win next time.
True.
Next time would be cool.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Glinthorn, Mayhem Devil, and a Reanimate. I assume it's probably the Mayhem Devil to hand. I mean, he might have Dockside in hand, but Glinthorn is a win, and Reanimate gets him either one he wants.
So why is he getting Mayhem Devil as the 3rd card?
The issue is, well, Glinthorn is a straight win.
Yeah.
Mayhem Devil at least requires an additional step where Glinthorn doesn't.
Correct.
And Reanimate is just cheaper and lets him choose either one.
Yeah, you have to go with the Mayhem
give me
Devil,
Reanimate.
but...
Yeah, no. No, I'm just... So I think...
So this is just value to, like, pick the Kinnans and
I mean,
stuff.
The Mayhem Devil will also trigger up your treasure.
could-
yeah.
you could give him the Reanimate.
Kinnans. Yeah.
Alright, given that information, I'll give you the Reanimate.
I like that.
Yeah, that's cheeky.
Yeah.
Now with the Basalt still in the stack, Mike casts a March of Swirling Mist. He exiles a Gilded Drake and chooses to target Phil's Kinnan and Hidden's Talion. Phil does have a response as he casts a Dispel on the March. Mike draws, Hidden gains a treasure, and still with everything on the stack, Mike activates Kinnan, with him finding a very spicy Elvish Spirit Guide off the top.
Well, okay. Let's talk. Are you going to get Mayhem Devil to kill the board, or are you going to get Glinthorn to just murder us? Because I have interaction for Dispel, or I have interaction for Reanimate.
I'm more interested in Mayhem Devil, honestly. The Glinthorn was just like the red herring because I know I wasn't getting it. I literally built this pile because I assumed it was going to be Mayhem Devil Reanimate, it was going to be Glinthorn Reanimate, and I get this.
Because you can still grab Mayhem Devil and just like kill everything, right? Yeah. I'm gonna pay 2 life and cast Mental Misstep, targeting your Dispel.
But Phil wants this bad and fires off a Fierce Guardianship. Mike draws, Hidden gets a treasure. But with the fight Phil is putting up, Steve decides to cast a Mindbreak Trap to exile everything but the March. Mike draws, Hidden gains a treasure, and the stack clears, with the creatures phasing out and the Basalt getting exiled.
I'm sorry, Phil. You're too good. I respect you too much to let you get away with the stuff that I get away with.
Yeah, no, I'll pass turn.
Steve then heads to his turn and is true to his word as he casts his Reanimate, targeting his Mayhem Devil. He even pays for fish, with the only response being Hidden cracking a treasure for a white mana. The Reanimate resolves, with Steve ending his turn with combat, sending Malcolm at Phil for 2. He gets a treasure when the commander connects. Steve was going to pass there, but Hidden makes a deal with him that he'll crack one of his treasures if Steve does the same to take out Mike's Kinnan, with Steve accepting and the Kinnan getting taken out. Mike takes 3 from his crypt and lets his fish go. He gives Hidden a treasure, with Mike then playing out a snow-covered island as land, and then a spell skite. This triggers Talion and gives Hidden another treasure. Mike then follows that up with a Glenalendra and takes 2 more off Talion. Hidden gains a treasure and heads to his turn. A watery grave is then shocked in his land for turn, and seeing as there are no more fish, Hidden decides to cast a Talisman of Progress. He does take 2 from Talion, but he's been holding on to things, as he then casts a Talisman of Hierarchy. He takes 2 more off Talion, but has been making treasures off each draw. Phil draws and gives Hidden another treasure. He's looking to reload and cast a One Ring. He gains protection and taps it to draw, playing a Boseiju as land for turn. Steve also gives Hidden a treasure and plays out an Exotic Orchard and passes, having to discard a card due to hand size. Mike takes another 3 from his crypt and gives a treasure to Hidden off his draw. A forest then comes out as land for turn.
I'm going to put a spell on the stack.
Oh, yeah?
It could look scary. It might not. I'm going to put a Kinnan activation on the stack. Turn Timber Symbiosis.
Mike ends up finding a Phyrexian Metamorph off the top, which enters as a copy of Mayhem Devil. Hidden honestly wants to see this chaos, as he decides on his turn to start cracking treasures. He cracks his first for a black, with Mike and Steve making a pact to keep their Mayhem Devils around for at least a little longer, as they both target Hidden's Talion. Hidden then cracks his second treasure, with his Talion getting pinged to death. His third treasure gets him a point of damage, with Mike killing Phil's birds, with his fourth treasure being cracked to get Hidden pinged again, and Mike sending a point of damage at Phil's Kinnan. Using up his blue and black mana, Hidden then pays 4 life into a Toxic Deluge. But Steve has a response, as he free casts a Force of Negation, exiling a mental misstep to do so. The Deluge is countered, with Hidden following that up with a One Ring. He gains protection and cracks one last treasure to let Mike finish off Phil's Kinnan. Phil takes 1 off his One Ring, tapping it to draw 2, with Hidden gaining a total of 3 treasures so far. Phil then uses his Manamo to untap his ring, drawing 3 more cards and giving Hidden 3 more treasures. A Waterlogged Grove is his land for turn, with him following that up with the Finhorn Elves. Phil passes, but at his end step, Steve casts a Vamp Tutor. Hidden does have a response, as he cracks a treasure for black. Steve pings the Spirit Guide, with Mike pointing a pointed damage at Malcolm. Hidden then cracks another treasure for black.
Thought we were friends.
You targeted my Spirit Guide.
Well, I can't target any of them.
He doesn't have
Why? You
protection.
don't have protection. You can target them.
Oh,
It's
shit.
only for
I have
turns.
protection.
Yeah, I was wondering. I was
Okay.
like, you can start them.
Hey,
Yeah.
I was in my face.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want him to kill my stuff, and I can't target him.
Yeah, I'll go Phil's face.
F me.
And then I will crack a third treasure.
It's Phil's face.
Damn it.
Yeah, I feel like your face. I'll target it.
And then using,
Yes, I'm being fucking bullied
and
over
then
here.
using that, man, I'm going to attempt to put an opposition agent on the stack.
Oh, I don't like that.
This will trigger Talion to have Hidden lose to, draw Steve a card, with Steve actually paying for the Smothering Tithe. But the Oppo resolves, and Hidden gets to take Steve's Vamp. Also getting to see his hand of an Artificial Evolution, Flusterstorm, Imperial Seal, Swansong, and a Cabal Ritual. Hidden isn't sure what to grab, and figured the safe bet is always to take Thassa's. And, still in Phil's end step, Steve casts an Artificial Evolution on Malcolm.
Does it say forever?
Yes.
That's so weird.
What? Forever?
Forever.
I've never seen that, but I need that for like my casual deck. What the hell?
Would you like to ping it in response?
Oh,
It has 1
Now,
damage
hold
marked
on,
on it.
hold on.
damage marked on it.
Before
It
you
does
do
have
this,
1 damage
Yeah,
marked on
before
it.
you do this,
Yeah,
realize
yeah.
it's in a position that he can never crack a treasure because he dies. And I don't have to end the game.
What do you mean? How does that work?
So basically the way it works is I change pirate to devil, and then whenever my devil pings a player, I make a treasure.
Oh, God. Nobody needs to deal with that.
Now,
That's insane.
hold on. Again, he's sitting on the top, and I will expect you to kill one of them at some point, which you can do because you'll have chances to do it in response to stuff.
Okay, that's true.
So
he's saying, I have a loaded gun that can shoot everyone. I'm going to point it at me, but it also could just shoot you.
But again...
But it could also just shoot me.
It could also just shoot you.
But you'll be able to kill my Mayhem Devil before I kill you.
Unless Malcolm connects and gets a treasure, which there's an open person. Because once he gets a treasure, you can't necessarily stop that.
So, the whole point of it is to stop him from winning the game because he's got a bunch of nonsense. And I like...
He only has 2 cards.
Sure.
It does have Thassa's Oracle Exile, which is...
He does have a Thassa's Oracle that he
I-
took from me.
I mainly did it just because just you not having the ability to Thassa's is always a good thing.
How about this?
Yes.
Why don't we just kill the Man Devil?
I'm fine with that. I don't mind you doing that either.
And that way your spell will resolve, but also Man Devil will be gone. And you can kill mine, and then we can carry on with our lives, maybe.
Right.
And with that, Hidden cracks a treasure for white mana. Steve pings Oppo, with Mike pinging the Mayhem Devil. A second treasure then gets cracked for blue, and Steve pings the Oppo with Mike the Devil. Oppo does die, with Hidden cracking his third treasure for black. Steve pings the Spirit Guide, and Mike the Mayhem Devil. Creatures die, with Mike paying 2 life to redirect the evolution onto his Spellskite, to make it a Phyrexian Brushwag. And, just in case, before his mana dissipates, Hidden taps his ring to draw. Using his floating blue, he untaps it with Manamo. And with that, Phil finally gets to discard due to hand size, as he pitches a Trinisphere. Steve draws and pays the 2. He imp seals now that the Oppo is gone and finds a card to put on top. And then heads to combat, sending Malcolm at Phil for 2, with Steve making a treasure and passing after that. Mike takes 3 from his crypt and gives Hidden a treasure. He has a treasure vault as land for turn and then slams down a Nyxbloom Ancient. Hidden does respond by drawing 2 off his One Ring, but he passes priority, with Steve responding with a Swan Song to counter the enchantment, to which Mike responds by sacrificing his Glenalendra. This puts a Mayhem Devil trigger on the stack, to which he takes out Phil's elves.
This is a hate crime. The elves will be in touch.
I can't even win after all of this.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Tapped all my mana down. Make sure it's like
You're telling me the Swan Song cut you off your mana?
Yeah.
Let's go!
I mean, I knew there was going to be counter spells, but, maybe somebody will just clone it and it'll be funny.
Hidden untaps and takes 2 from his ring. He has an Arid Mesa as land and then cracks 2 treasures for white, with Mike shocking Phil with his Mayhem Devil. Hidden then cracks 5 more treasures for 3 black and 2 blue. This time it's a Lava Axe that heads at Phil. Hidden then taps his ring for 3 more cards and then cracks another treasure for blue, with Phil getting pinged to another one. Hidden then uses his blue to untap his One Ring with Manamo, with Hidden now drawing 4 off his One Ring. Hidden is now all set up and casts a Grand Abolisher. He does take 2 off Talion, but responding to the Smothering Tide trigger, Steve casts a Cabal Ritual. The ritual resolves and he pays the tithe, and then puts an Orcish Bowmaster on the stack. The Orc resolves and Hidden gets pinged when the Orc ETBs. But the table doesn't have any way of stopping Hidden's Abolisher as it resolves. Hidden is now free from interaction and swords the Mayhem Devil, with Mike gaining 3 life. Next up is a Beseech the Mirror, with Hidden bargaining away a treasure. And he could have just grabbed out a Time Thief, but instead he grabs out a Tainted Pact, letting him exile his library and then cast his Stolen Thassas to win him the game.
Game review. Well, question for the viewers. Should we have been so political this game? Were the deals that we made good, or did we just mess everything up by making them? I honestly thought the deals were pretty fair overall. And seeing as this was still a multiplayer format, an important part of the game should be making these deals. Now, as for the actual game, it was a blast. I honestly thought I wouldn't be able to pull it off when there were 2 Mayhem Devils, a Spellskite, and a Glenalendra. I was fortunate enough that I didn't try to go off first, and was able to politic myself around the table to at least seem a little bit more unassuming, even with a bunch of treasures and the One Ring. Although, poor Phil, as I felt that out of everyone, his deck was just not lining up well against the rest of the table. The Mayhem Devils removed all of his stuff, and he wasn't able to stick his Basalt. And as for Steve, he did a pretty good job of navigating and really was almost able to stick his win. But the table was able to feed each other cards, and so there was plenty of interaction left. And there really just wasn't a good window for him being able to stick it. Although, funnily enough, it was his swan song that saved the day, as Mike had the Hullbreaker Horror in hand. And by forcing the Glenalendra, it cut him off his mana 2 combo. And before everyone leaves, I want to thank all of our Patreon members, including Josh Schutt, Sly Fox, Tango Down, and Holy Septic, for their support of the channel, along with all of our other Patreon supporters as well. And as always, I want to thank everyone that played. And remember, never give up, even if you're dead on board. I'll see you guys later.